Imagine, for a moment, standing before a fork in the road. To the left, a path appears perfect, paved, safe. Yet something about it feels false. To the right, the road is imperfect, strewn with stones, yet there's a living silence that calls to you. Now I ask you, would you rather be right on the wrong path, or wrong on the right path? In this video, we're going to dive into a dilemma that few have the courage to face. We'll explore the illusion that life always demands us to get it right, and how mistakes, inevitable as they are, can become silent teachers. Throughout our conversation, we will navigate the territory of choices, explore the duality between right and wrong, and discover which stance brings us closer to our inner truth. In spirituality and personal growth, people often talk about finding the right path, as if there were a single route to spiritual awakening. But the truth is, all paths, right or wrong, carry both shadows and light. Often, it's not being right that reveals our soul, but the mistake that forces us to stop, breathe, and listen to the truth we've been avoiding. And this is where the dilemma arises. If you're on the wrong path but executing each step perfectly, are you truly moving forward, or just drifting further from your essence? And if you stumble, fail, and fall on the right path, are you regressing or maturing? Today, let's walk through this question together, not to find a ready-made answer, but to create space for your own consciousness to speak. The imagined need to always be right is a trap that begins early. From our school days, we are rewarded for being correct and punished for making mistakes. This conditioning creates a false equation. Right equals value, wrong equals failure. The problem is, that formula doesn't apply to real life. In life, mistakes are not only inevitable, they are essential. They're like pruning a tree. It may look like a loss, but it makes room for new branches to grow stronger. Zen master Daisetsu Taro Suzuki once said that perfection lies in being fully present in the act, not in avoiding the stumble. It's full presence that makes a step true, not the absence of flaws. Being right on the wrong path is like playing music with flawless technique, but without soul. The melody may please others, but it doesn't move you inside. And the most dangerous part, the comfort of apparent correctness can numb you. You feel you've mastered the terrain, yet don't notice you're moving in circles. The ego feels safe, but the soul begins to wither. Perhaps in this context, a mistake is less dangerous than an empty correctness, because it shakes us awake from the autopilot of routine. Being wrong on the right path hurts. It's like tripping in the middle of a climb. You know you're ascending the right mountain, but every fall hurts more than if you were on level ground. Yet there's something mysterious in these stumbles. They bring us closer to the truth. A mistake, when embraced, becomes an unadorned mirror. It reveals our unrealistic expectations, hidden attachments, and even our spiritual illusions. In Sufi tradition, there's a teaching from Rumi. What you seek is seeking you, and the stumbles are merely ways to fine-tune the meeting. This means even delays are part of the synchronicity. When we make mistakes on the right path, we learn that purpose is not the absence of difficulty, but coherence with what pulses within us. In personal growth, this kind of mistake matures patience and humility. It teaches us to trust not just the destination but the process, even when the process feels far too slow. And perhaps that's the key, to accept that being on the right path doesn't mean living without flaws, but turning each flaw into an intimate conversation with our own consciousness. The dilemma between right and wrong is, to a large extent, a mental illusion. It's like looking at a tapestry from the back. We see tangled threads, but on the other side is a harmonious image we can't yet perceive. Many times, what we call the wrong path is simply a necessary stretch that awakens something the right path never would. And what seems the right path might just be a stage of comfort preparing us for a greater leap. Krishnamurti said, "Truth is a pathless land." This doesn't mean the absence of direction. It means the absence of absolute certainties. There is no map that works for everyone, because life is an intimate dialogue between consciousness and the present moment. Inner silence is the most reliable compass for sensing whether a path, right or wrong, is nourishing us or draining us. And this perception takes courage. Courage to leave the paved road when it no longer makes sense, even if everyone says it's the best. Courage to keep climbing a difficult trail when something inside says, "This is where your soul breathes." How do we position ourselves in the face of this dilemma? Perhaps the ideal stance is to cultivate two virtues that rarely walk together: clarity and surrender. Clarity to recognize when we're on the wrong path, even if outward circumstances look favorable. Surrender to accept mistakes on the right path without collapsing under them. In Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei, action without force, teaches us that life flows better when we don't push it against the current. This doesn't mean passivity, but action that arises in harmony with the natural rhythm. When we are right on the wrong path, clarity invites us to stop, look, and change direction. When we are wrong on the right path, surrender invites us to continue, adjusting our step without losing direction. It's like rowing a river. Sometimes we need to change banks. Other times, we simply need to accept that the current is slow. The key is not to confuse slowness with stagnation, nor movement with real progress. The real question is not which path is right, but what presence do I carry on any path? Two travelers can walk the same road. One, full of certainties, arrives empty. The other, full of doubts, arrives transformed. Philosopher Henry David Thoreau said, "The worth of a man is in proportion to the objects he pursues, not what he achieves." This reminds us that technical correctness doesn't guarantee meaning, and conscious mistakes don't block evolution. In spirituality, a mistake can be a disguised initiation. It forces us to let go of the illusion of control and walk with greater humility. Correctness, on the other hand, can be a silent test. Will we remain awake even when everything seems to be working? The posture that transforms any path is that of a lifelong learner. Those who remain students know there is no useless mistake, no absolute correctness. Perhaps the wisest way is to walk with attentive eyes and an open heart, ready to change course when needed, and to persist when the soul says, "Continue." Maybe life isn't about always being right, but about always being alive to learn. Between the right path and the wrong path, between mistake and correctness, there is a silent space where consciousness breathes. That's where the truest choices live. And what if, in the end, it's not about choosing between being right or wrong, but about being present, whole, awake? Perhaps that's the true compass, not the one that points north to correctness, but the one that points to the center of your soul. Tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes and recall a choice you made, big or small, where you felt you were wrong or right. Instead of judging, ask, "What did this experience teach me about myself?" Take a deep breath, let go of the answer, and allow the silence to finish what words cannot. If these words touched something inside you, perhaps it's time to take one more step on this path of rediscovering your inner truth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep receiving content that nourishes the soul with presence and authenticity. Share in the comments what resonated with your heart. Your story may be the mirror someone else needed to see. And if you want to stay in this same vibration, watch the video we've linked in the card. It was carefully chosen to continue this journey with you. Peace and light.